Hey there, Taurus. How are you doing? This is kind of an emergency reading, and it's because I just realized how big this eclipse is. And so, apart from the little astrology notes that I made earlier, I felt that I better do an emergency reading. And for you guys, Taurus, this eclipse is happening in your astrological, I think it's your 11th house of hopes, dreams, and wishes for a better world. What can you bring to society for the group? What are you sharing with the group? What is the group sharing with you? And all that kind of humanitarian, egalitarian, uh, let's make it all happen together for the team type of energy, and there's not a lot of ego involved, okay? But anyway, new beginnings and new endings over there. I'm not going to go into the, all that stuff about the eclipse. I just want to do a reading, just specifically a reading for the eclipse, okay? Just for the eclipse. This isn't for March or anything. This is just for the eclipse because it's coming up very, very soon, okay? And let's get on with it. This is going to be down and dirty, okay? It's very straightforward reading, and I'll do the best I can to interpret for you from my perspective here. So it is subjective, okay? Tarot is subjective. Please allow for that, and please reinterpret the whole thing for yourself at the end anyway. And we'll see how it goes, okay? I don't do reversals, just so that you know. And that's it. Okay, so underneath, a lot of people like to know what's going on. What are the subcurrents? What are the hidden currents that we necessarily maybe not be able to control, but they're there anyway. We might not even be aware of them, but you have the Ace of Pentacles going on, which to me is indicating that you're in an environment here where new amazing opportunities can unfold, or they are unfolding for you. It's better if you take conscious awareness of this energy and make something out of it, because it's very fleeting. It's very, very strong energy, but it's in and it's out if you're not careful. So regard it as a sacred opportunity, okay? Once you understand it, you grab it and you take yourself down the pathway and through this little gate to these huge new horizons way, way on the other side, okay? And you'll have the resources to do that. So let's set that aside. Let's get into it here. The energy around the reading. Oh, that's lovely. At least to me, it's lovely. Have a closer look. This is kind of a sentimental card. I love this little card. It's like, I know it's kind of like looking into the past a little bit. And it's the Six of Cups, and you see these lovely young kids. They obviously cherish each other. They enjoy each other now, and my view of this card is that there's almost nothing more beautiful than carrying the childhood innocence of love forward into adulthood shamelessly, okay? Because in adulthood, we get conditioned and crushed and pushed down and squashed and manipulated and betrayed and abused and all of these horrible things. And most children are extremely resilient. Even in the most horrific circumstances, children seem to find a way to laugh. And even if they have to cry a little bit later, they find a way to laugh to get through it all. So carry that beautiful innocence and youthful loving energy from childhood. It's with you, and you're bringing it forward into the present. Okay. So that's what's around you right now. Think of it possibly even as soulmate energy. You may be enjoying the energy of a soulmate, male or female, young, old, child, pet, whatever it might be. Some kind of lovely, lovely energy that you already know. You're already familiar with the energy, and it feels really good to be there with you. Where were you coming from? Okay, you must have been working pretty hard already to get your acts together, okay? and you've already gone through the Ace, you've already gone through the 2, and now you're at the 3 of Wands here. You are starting to see your ships come in. Okay, that's the legend of this little card. See the little ships there, there, and there. Okay, so they are far away, but they are yours. They represent your bounty and the things that you are planning to receive to go forward, the resources that you need to go forward on this epic journey called life. So you're on the way. You've already come this far. It's still early in the journey and you have a long way to go, but you're on top of it. You're in charge. You made good plans and the plans are working. Okay, so that's where we are. That's where you've just come from. Where are you now? Whoa. Okay, there's no messing with you. Seems like you have appointed yourself to being the boss of the boss. In other words, you are the boss of you. Nobody, 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 nobody is going to mess with you, okay? Because you have complete mastery of your environment, of your resources, your energies, all of it. Okay, and there's not a lot of ego here or anything. It's just a very powerful, strong card of self-mastery. And okay, so it is a guy, but we're gender neutral here, okay? In Tarot Illumination, it's gender neutral, okay? So you can be a very powerful, like one of those power chicks, you know? Maybe you're a super young brainiac kid girl at school and you're out smarting all the guys. That happens, you know. Don't dumb yourself down. Or you could be an awesomely powerful guy. Don't abuse the power, okay? So that's kind of where you are right now. And it's a very strong, very stabilizing energy. So just hold on to that. I don't know how this relates to you with the eclipse, how you feel that relates to the eclipse, but this is kind of where you are right now. Up ahead, oh, I had this in another reading with one of the other signs earlier in the very same position. And I was really, really puzzled, okay? And so I had to do some homework earlier. And here's my thoughts. Up ahead, okay, there may be a sense of, I don't know, I don't like putting a bad spin on this because there's a good interpretation. It may be that there's something coming up ahead. You already know it's there, and it's to do with kind of almost like entrapment. And you don't really want to be entrapped. You want to maintain your authority, your integrity, the true you, and keep this lovely energy going. And you don't want to have to be subject to any kind of bondage or agreements or entrapments or holdings or codependency, all those kind of like ways of relating that seem attractive and appealing at first, but are actually not very healthy at all. Now, because of this little card here at the very beginning, it may indicate that we're dealing with the relationship of energy, the energy of relationships here, okay? Very pure, simple, profound soulmate relationship. And it's in your present life. And it's something maybe that you have manifested and wanted, and that's good to have it. And you are maintaining your integrity in the context of the relationship. But what may be coming up is some, let's say, shadowy sides of the relationship that need to be addressed. And it's being simplified and condensed into this card, the Devil, which could indicate, you know, like I hate to say it, but, you know, with these changes, the bondage. Now, it's emotional, psychological bondage because it's not real. It's just like one of those fantasy sex games. You can just pull off the chains and everybody's just fine. Everybody goes home and they all had a good laugh. All right? I'm trying to trivialize it. Okay? But it's there and it's coming up, so be careful. Okay? Just conduct yourself in a very honorable way and don't be seduced by the all the things that can be so tempting. The sex, the money, the drugs, the alcohol, the parties, the emotional indulgences. Just be very careful. Now, there's another interpretation that I like, whereby this is almost like a cosmic joke. It's where this is what appears to be going on. Other people can see that in your life, or what they think is this, and you can even see it this way. And yes, it's a soulmate thing going on here, and maybe there's some karmic issues coming to the surface, but they are very loving, sweet, and gentle, and they seem to be, to an observer's point of view, not cool, not acceptable. And inside of you is this cosmic joke going on where you think like, everybody, people, you have no idea. It's not your business anyway, so F off, get out of here. We've got something lovely going on, and we're just happy with that. We're totally connected from heaven to earth, from earth to heaven, and we're not shy about enjoying the material bounties of this world in ways that maybe you wish you could. So ha ha ha, F you. We're not hurting anybody. We're not hurting each other. We're enjoying being together in this way. We're human beings, and we're only going to be here for a while. We want to taste and enjoy our life. We want to procreate and make fun and do fun, delicious things together. So, butt out. Butt out, okay? You go figure out your own life. Stop judging me, okay? Now, how are you going to get through this eclipse energy? Okay, now, don't freak out, okay? This is the Three of Swords. Everybody dreads this card. There may be a way to look at this, because this is a card of how do you conduct yourself. It's not condemnation. No one's saying, oh, you've got a broken heart, or you're going to get a broken heart. From the way I interpret this is, it looks bleak. It looks like there's a lot of pain here. If there is something unhealthy about a soulmate relationship, and you are maintaining your authority, or maybe you're being a little bit too much of a boss and too much of an authority, then that needs to back down a bit. Maybe there are some painful issues inside of a relationship, okay? I don't want to say this is a love relationship type of reading, but because of this little card here, it indicates to me like a soulmate relationship anyway. Now, if there are some elements of heartache here, the way to move forward is to live through them, to expose them. It's almost like to rip open your shirt, rip open her shirt. Sorry about that. Calm down, everybody, and have a heart to heart, and bring a lot of tissues, and scream and yell if you have to, and get it out of your system. Go totally crazy. Be an animal. Don't hurt each other, but just go animal. Go wild. Go do like what wild animals do. They get into these fake fights, but it's all kind of like training. It's what kids do in playgrounds. When guys chase the girls to get their first kiss, or when girls pull each other's ponytails and guys beat each other up. A lot of it is done in a sense of play. It's like they're learning how to be humans by playing. It's fake fighting, and nobody actually kills each other or hurts each other. It's more like we're just trying to learn lessons here, okay? So this is almost like a fake heartbreak. Let it move through. Treat it as a healing process, all right? Around you, in the surroundings, it's okay. You will endure, because this might be, hold on. This may be energy that's coming into you, for you, from outside of yourself, okay? It might be from your environment. It might be a person, perhaps a very strong person who's totally in charge, who has mastery over their power, over their emotions, over their own energy. It's got similar energy to yours, in which case this may be the other person. This may be the energy of the other person, and they're just keeping their distance a little bit because they are aware of what's going on here, and they understand that they have to go through it, but they don't necessarily want to go through it, so they're just being a little cautious. But just allow it to happen. Allow the experience to unfold. Now, if this is... No, let's just leave it like that, okay, for now. We'll come back to that. So what are the hopes and fears about this? That it's all too much. It could be all too much for you. Or it could be that you're actually bringing it all home. It's a lot of work. You're completely crushed and overburdened by all of this, but you're very, very close to home, okay? So you're hoping that perhaps you get home really, really, really soon so you can dump all this stuff on the ground and chill and rest your aching back, okay? So that's two ways to look at it, okay? This is a card of burden, but it's also a completion. So you've done all the work. Thank God, hallelujah. We did it, we've done it, we've got through all of that. And it might be to do with this relationship. In other words, there may be some struggles going on here, and it's almost like they're too much. It's almost too much. And you're scared of that. You're scared that it might break you. In other words, this really might happen. Instead of just being a pretend card and, going through the drama of heartbreak, but coming out the other side okay with strength and maintaining the integrity of yourself and your beautiful soulmate relationship, it might be a serious struggle. You might be having to face issues in the relationship that are not pretty, okay? Even though they might have been fun. I'm not going to go into the details about that, but you can kind of tell what I'm hinting. Maybe you were both a couple of like drunken nutcase alcoholics and you had a bit too much fun and now you're regretting it. That's just an example of the kind of energy I'm thinking about, okay? So where does it lead us all? Oh, okay. Well, what this little card is indicating to me, to tell you, is that there's no harm done. There's no harm going to happen. And everything is going to work out just fine, but it's going to involve a lot of convoluted energy here as you get through this process. Again, I hesitate to say and declare that this is a love reading, but because of this and because of this, and because of this sort of lustful energy and the power struggle going on here, power perhaps between yourself and the other, it requires, in order for this eclipse to unfold gracefully over the next 3 or 4 or 5 months or whatever it is, it's going to require from you to step back a little bit in your power and admit your innocence and your naivety and your youth, and that you may not be as evolved and awesomely in charge and in power as you think you might be. Taurus is a very strong sign and they don't back down, okay? You can be a little bit inflexible, and when you meet your equal, like your other half, so to speak, it can be kind of like a locking heads energy, and you need to be kind of careful of that. You don't want to overdo it and get you guys in trouble. So it's asking you to take a look at yourself first, have a good look in the mirror, and ask yourself, who am I really? What am I really, really doing with my resources? And my resources mean everything about my life. My material self, my body, my mind, everything that's inside my body, my thoughts, my feelings, all the resources that I have in my life, all of that, what am I going to do with it? How am I going to conduct myself in the future? I see this as a big question mark. And this eclipse is allowing crappy stuff to unfold in a way that's playful, that doesn't really hurt anybody, but it allows you to work through the crap. Okay? Now, in the process of game playing, what I would suggest is that you might communicate this message to here, okay, and ask them, excuse me, by the way, while we're getting in this, time out, let's dust ourselves off for a moment. I'll chill. We'll take 10-second break here. Please, can I ask a dear favor of you, my dear other half? Would you please examine yourself as well and figure out what the bleep are you doing with yourself and all your resources? Because we're both responsible here. We've got to figure this stuff out, and we're going to do it, but it means we have to be very sweet and kind, just like we are in our youthful innocence. And we don't want to beat each other up as adults. We can play through this, we can dramatize this, or we can turn it into a game, how we're going to fix things and make things better, okay? This is, to me, a very optimistic outcome, because it represents, it's youthful and it's inquisitive and it means no harm, even though there might be some like scuffles and, oh, ouch, oh, I didn't mean to do that, I'm sorry, hey, but that was fun, wasn't it? Let's do it again, come on. You pretend this, I'll pretend that. Figure it out between the both of you, okay? So I guess we are hinting at a relationship here. You might have a completely different interpretation. I'll let you see the cards and you can have a look and draw your own conclusions, all right, dear Taurus? And I hope this helps you some way, somehow, to get through this eclipse, all right? Okay, Taurus, thank you for visiting. Hope to see you again soon.